Most people hear Southwest Florida luxury and they think one thing, Naples. And look, they're not wrong. Even Judge Judy used to live here at some point. But the ultra-wealthy aren't spread evenly across this region. There are lesser-known spots that are actually selling properties for $7.5 million and more. Now, I live here, I work here, and I know this market from the inside. So today, I'm breaking down exactly where the biggest sales happen in Southwest Florida and what you need to know before you buy at the top of this market. So why does this market keep performing the way it does? According to reports, 6 of the 10 priciest U.S. home sales in January 2026 were in Florida, and the single most expensive sale of the entire month was right here in Naples at $55 million. But that's actually a pattern, and Florida's zero state income tax doesn't hurt either. When you're buying at the $5 million, $10 million, $25 million level, that tax advantage is a real number on paper. It moves people. So without further ado, let's jump into it and talk about those impressive estates. Naples, the luxury anchor of Southwest Florida. Naples anchors the entire Southwest Florida luxury conversation. The city itself has a population of over 20,000, but Collier County as a whole has around 413,000 residents, and it's growing. And within that market, Naples always holds some of the highest median sale prices in the state. Luxury waterfront sales here regularly exceed $10 million, and entry level in the top golf and waterfront communities often start between $2 and $5 million depending on lot position and home size. I'll show you some examples too. Now, the luxury tier in Naples, the top segment tracked by Redfin, is sitting at a median sale price in the high 5 millions. And closed sales on properties over 5 million jumped about 16% for the full year of 2025. In recent months, around 80% of the top sales have happened west of US 41 on the coastal side. The stat tells you everything about where the money flows. Even Judge Judy is a part of that. In 2025, she sold her 10,600 square foot Naples property for $9.5 million. And we'll be seeing some other incredible properties later on, so stick around for those. But there isn't just one Naples luxury neighborhood. There are a few distinct tiers, and they play very differently. Port Royal is the top stop, period. This neighborhood sits on the southern tip of Naples along Gordon Drive, built on artificial peninsulas with direct Gulf frontage and deep water canal access. We're talking bridge-free boating straight to the Gulf. You can't recreate that. There are no more beachfront lots to build, and the pricing reflects it. Earlier in 2025, a 15-acre beachfront compound with 800 feet of direct Gulf frontage sold for $225 million, setting the all-time Florida residential sales record. Have you ever seen something like this? Then in early 2026, a Port Royal 15,300 square foot estate at 4296 Cutlass Lane closed at $55 million. It was the most expensive U.S. home sale of that month. And that's the floor of what this neighborhood does at the top end. The Gordon Pointe section specifically carries some of the highest prices per square foot in all of Southwest Florida. Large estate lots, ultra limited inventory. Take a look at a Gulfront estate like this one on Gordon Drive, and you'll feel the scale of what we're talking about. 6 bedrooms, 8 bathrooms, and gorgeous sunset views. And the Port Royal Club is a big part of this too. It's exclusively for Port Royal property owners with a joining fee of $315,000 and annual dues of $13,500. Private Gulf beach, fine dining, spa, tennis, fitness. The club is currently undergoing what's reportedly a 9-figure renovation. So the lifestyle infrastructure here is being actively upgraded, not just maintained like in other spots. Current Port Royal listings show a median listing price in the $20 million range. Other sources show the range stretching from the mid-20 million all the way to $60 million plus for Gulfront estates on Gordon Point. This is the most exclusive neighborhood in Southwest Florida, end of story. But we're not over yet. There are other spots where the wealthy buyers live, and we'll get to them. Before we do, if you're looking in the million-plus range anywhere in Southwest Florida, this is exactly the kind of search Team John Garuti handles every day. We know these communities from the inside and have a full team ready to help you out. Our contact information is in the description below. Now back to the video. Now, Pelican Bay is a different kind of luxury. Covers more than 2,300 acres in North Naples with over 6,500 residences, from high-rise condos to estate homes and nearly 3 miles of private Gulfront beaches. Private beach clubs come with full-service restaurants, beach chairs, and a tram that runs through protected mangrove forests. That's a whole lifestyle built right into the community. The club has a 27-hole private golf course with a newly renovated clubhouse, 18 hard-true tennis courts, pickleball coming, and fitness and wellness programs. And Artiste Naples, home of the Naples Philharmonic and the Baker Museum, sits right on Pelican Bay Boulevard. So the arts and cultural piece is literally walkable. Speaking price tags, according to Worthington Realty's early 2026 market report, Pelican Bay saw 89 sales in the past 120 days at a median sold price in the high 1 millions, with a sale to list ratio of around 93.5%. So sellers will have real leverage in this market. Bay Colony is the premium tier with Pelican Bay, and top listings there are touching the mid $30 million. For buyers who want the private beach lifestyle without being locked into Port Royal's ultra exclusive price point, this is the next tier down, and it delivers at a very high level. But before we move on, Port Royal and Pelican Bay are not the only places in Naples where this money concentrates. Quail West is 1,100 acres of private golf community in North Naples, and it plays very differently from the coastal neighborhoods. The value driver here is golf lifestyle plus gated privacy. 36 holes of championship golf, fine dining, red clay tennis courts, a 2-story fitness center, and a full-service spa. It is a self-contained world, debt-free and member-owned with no community development district. That last part actually matters at tax time. And one thing worth knowing, HOA fees apply here and golf memberships can be optional or required depending on the specific structure. So if you're pricing this out, factor that in alongside the purchase price. In 2025, 36 homes sold in Quail West at an average price in the mid $4 millions. One example had golf course views sitting around the mid $4 million range, but it actually sold in the $7 millions. This one had a separate cabana suite, a fountain entryway, and it was fully furnished too. Entry level here is in the mid $2 millions and climbs from there based on lot position and home size. The homes themselves typically run from the mid 3,000 square feet to 8,000 plus with 4 to 6 bedrooms. Pretty much all of them are custom built. I'll show you even higher price tags in just a minute though. And the community is in the North Naples, Bonita Springs corridor, just inland from the Gulf with lakes and water running through the golf course. So for the buyer who wants the gated golf estate without paying for golf frontage that they're never going to use, Quail West makes a lot of sense. And it's about 15 minutes to Gulf beaches and about 20 minutes to Southwest Florida International Airport. So location-wise, it punches above its price point. Now let's move over to another area. Bonita Springs has a population of about 59,000 and the overall market there sits at a median in the high 600s. But don't let that fool you. That median number is almost irrelevant when you're talking about the beachfront. Gulfront homes on Hickory Boulevard are a completely different conversation. Limited buildable lots, direct sand to water frontage, and strong seasonal demand from November through April every year. So data shows waterfront homes in Bonita Springs with median prices in the mid 500s to the low 700s range, but the Gulfront tier breaks well above that. The top end of Bonita Beach includes a sold 5-bedroom beachfront estate at 27100 Hickory Boulevard, listed just under $13 million. Has nearly 5,600 square feet of living space, chef's kitchen, a fully automated system, pretty convenient location as well. In early 2026, the area saw closed sales jump over 10% year over year, with pending sales surging nearly 34%. The demand is real. For ultra high net worthy buyers, Bonita Beach is where you park when you want the sand under your feet every morning. Same fundamental driver as Port Royal. You cannot manufacture more beachfront. Supply is fixed. Demand is not. Take a look at what the Gulfront looks like on Hickory and it becomes very clear why this strip commands what it does. And we still have many more areas to cover, so now let's get over to Marco Island. So Marco Island sits about 15 miles south of Naples, population around 16,000, and it has historic roots linked to one of the area's earliest settler called Captain Orr. It holds one of the highest concentrations of waterfront homes in Florida, all because of its extensive canal system that feeds directly into the Gulf of Mexico. The luxury segment on Marco Island, properties above $2 million, had a median sale price in the mid $3 million million range as of late 2025, up nearly 5% year over year. Cash transactions made up 68% of luxury deals, which is a clear sign of the ultra-wealthy approach. Waterfront estate ranges run from the high 3 millions into the 6 million plus range for newer builds. And the forecast for 2026 is steady in appreciation in the luxury segment, around 3 to 5%. But Key Marco is the real story on the island. It's said to be the only gated private island community in all of Southwest Florida. You've got 134 homes on 546 acres, with 375 of those acres dedicated entirely to natural habitat and preserves. So here you're buying into a place that literally cannot be replicated, much like another very exclusive beach we'll see later on. Private marina with direct Gulf access and no bridges, tennis, pickleball, a clubhouse, fitness center, nature trails through hundreds of acres of preserve, jogging and biking paths, and assigned boat slips. Current listings on Key Marco run up to the high 7 millions with large custom estates, panoramic bay and Gulf views. And the elevation is worth mentioning because it's one of the highest natural elevations in Southwest Florida, rising to 45 feet above sea level. In a flood-conscious market, that's actually a feature. Take a look at what's just sold on Waterside Drive right now. 10 rooms, Gulf proximity, incredible private beach club access, plus genuine scarcity. That's the combination that creates long-term demand among high-end buyers. And now we get to the islands. This is where lifestyle and scarcity come together in a way that's almost impossible to find anywhere else on the Gulf Coast. Captiva is a barrier island in Lee County, accessible through Sanibel, and it has a character that's completely its own. Building regulations have historically limited structures, keeping the density very low. The result is large beachfront estates on an island where supply is genuinely tight. The vibe is more private retreat than resort development. The top end of Captiva includes multi-million-dollar beachfront estates up to the high 18 millions. The luxury listings carry a median listing price in the mid-1 millions, but are climbing sharply at the Gulf frontier. Take a look at what's on Captiva Drive for a sense of the scale. This recently sold property reached $7.5 million. South Seas Island Resort on Captiva also just got a major renovation with new dining concepts, a water park complex, and expanded amenities arrived in 2025. That kind of investment in the island's infrastructure absolutely drives long-term property values. Sanibel is famous for its 12 miles of beaches, its shelling, and one of the strictest development frameworks in Florida. Height restrictions, environmental protections, the JN Ding Darling National Wildlife Refuge taking up a big chunk of the island, no big chain restaurants either. That's intentionality in how Sanibel was built and protected is exactly what drives its luxury prices. Now, Sanibel took a serious hit from Hurricane Ian in 2022 and then again from Helene and Milton in 2024. That's real, and it would be wrong to gloss it over. But the Sanibel Causeway restoration was completed in 2025 with a $328 million project featuring nearly 750,000 square feet of steel sheet pile walls and elevated seawalls. Roughly 2/3 of lodging units were back online by early 2025, and the New York Times named Sanibel and Captiva among its 52 places to go for 2026. That's a big deal. The recovery is real and it's accelerating. Average home values on Sanibel are currently in the high 700s, down from prior peaks, and can reach the high 800s. Real estate agents watching this market see the current pricing as a strategic buying window before values recover to reflect the rebuilt infrastructure and reopen businesses. For the buyer who wants an island that generally can't be overdeveloped, Sanibel's combination of strict zoning, environmental protection, and premium Gulf access is a long-term home. Scarcity plus lifestyle. That's what these islands trade on. The supply is fixed and the demand from ultra high net worth buyers is not slowing down. Buyers coming into this market understand scarcity. And Southwest Florida keeps delivering exactly that at every tier of the ultra luxury spectrum. If this kind of price range seems the right one for you, reach out to us. We have over 250 5-star reviews and have helped hundreds of new homeowners right here in Southwest Florida. So shoot me an email at hello@swfloridarealestate.com today and let's go over your opportunities. And before you go, I've linked a video right here that you might want to watch. I'll take you with me on a tour around Naples and you'll be able to see the town for yourself. Until next time, see you soon.